Hi, this is Russ Hardy, and I'm going to show you the Fieldpiece HVAC Guide. Fieldpiece Instruments makes tools and test equipment specifically designed for the HVAC technician, and the HVAC Guide is the industry's first easy-to-use, handheld tool that leads field technicians step-by-step through critical HVAC tests. So let me just show you the test that we have on the dial. We have target evaporator exit temperature. That's to find your proper temperature drop across your evaporator coil. It's also a good airflow check. Superheat for charging your fixed restrictor systems. Subcooling for charging your TXV systems. Combustion analysis for setting up your combustion equipment. And we have Check Me. Check Me is an optional feature for the HG1 and is a much more advanced test for determining the overall state of an air conditioning system. You can download Check Me to your HG1 at www.fieldpiece.com. Now I want to show you how to do a superheat test using the HVAC Guide. The first thing I'm going to do is select my test on the dial. Just select superheat. This brings me to the superheat input form. Notice the first thing I have to do is select my refrigerant. So I press enter to get to my list of refrigerants. 410A 134, and we also have the new stuff like the hot shot and one shot, but I'm going to stick with R22 for this demo. The next thing I have to do is get my outdoor dry bulb. It comes with the ATH4 dual temperature head, and I have my dry bulb thermocouple plugged in right here on T1 of the dual temperature head. So I'm going to select T1 on the dial, and I'm going to press enter on the HVAC Guide. So it's 74 degrees in this room right now, and I'm going to press enter to lock that in. Now what I have to do is get my return wet bulb. I already have my wet bulb sock plugged into the ATH4, and I do have it wet, so I'm just going to select T2 on the dial of the ATH4, and then I'm going to press enter to start taking that measurement. So I have a 58.6 degree wet bulb in here right now. Now I'm going to press enter to lock that in. Now the next thing it tells me to do is get my suction line pressure. So I can, if I was at a system, what I would do is attach our superheat head and get my suction line pressure and suction line temperature using the pressure sensor or the pipe clamp for the line temperature. But for this demo, what I can do is I can manually enter it in. This is also good if you don't have that head. What you can do with your gauges is just look at your gauges and manually enter it in. So I do that by pressing the right arrow to start manually entering it in. And then I can scroll up with the numbers. So I'm going to scroll up to 60. Let's put 62 in there. So I have 62 PSI in there right now. I press enter to lock that in. That brings me down to the suction line temperature. Now I'm just going to press the right arrow to start manually entering that in, and I'm going to enter in a temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm at the customer ID. All these tests can be downloaded to a PC, and it prints out on a spreadsheet using the Excel program. So it's really easy spreadsheet to give back to your customers. And it uses the customer ID as the file name. So I can put A, B, C in here, and also scroll down and get some numbers. So I'll do ABC5 and enter that in. Now I'm done entering everything on the input form. I just press output. Output basically means calculate, and that brings me to the results of the test on the output form. So in this case, I have a target superheat of 10.6 and an actual superheat of 4.6. So I'm 6 degrees off. It also gives me a vapor saturation temperature as a reference point, so I know the boiling point of my refrigerant. Now, the cool thing about it is it also gives you an explanation. So it says actual superheat is below the target superheat, which indicates an overcharge. Recover refrigerant until actual superheat matches the target superheat. After corrective measures are taken, repeat measurement. Now the cool thing about this too is when you do get it lined up and have a correct superheat, it will say that that is correct and actually print that out on your work order form. And it basically just does this for all the tests on the dial. There's lots of benefits to the HVAC Guide. First, with the input form, the correct test procedure is done every time. The HVAC Guide goes step by step through the correct test procedure. You don't have to write anything down because it saves it all in the memory. All the calculators and charts are built right in, so no more carrying around PT charts or having to do arithmetic on a scratch piece of paper while on the job. It diagnoses the problem and actually tells you what to do about it. And all this is just going to create less chance of a callback. And you can actually use it as a sales tool by documenting your analysis and showing your customer that you did the job right and validating your work. Just proof that the job was done right. It gives you a record of when, where, and what test was done. Just improves the efficiency of the air conditioning system and improves the efficiency of the technician. This is the Field Piece HVAC Guide.